from traveling and from the senior center, etc. But I'm Lori Prescott, and I am their daughter. And we have my two brothers, Tim and John Snyder, here as well. And we just all three want to say thank you so much for coming out to help honor this amazing couple right here that has made it 50 wonderful years and still in love, still going strong, and having lots of fun doing it. And so we want to wish them another good 30 years or more. What do you think? 40? And Willard Scott is not on the Today Show anymore doing the 100th-year birthday, so, you know, we hope you'll make it that far. But we want to take this time right now to have like an open mic time for any of you that might like to get up to share a story or share a little bit about your relationship with my parents, or tell something funny, or do a tap dance, or sing, whatever you want to do. We'd love to let you do that, and that is for adults as well as kids. So, and my father's not allowed to sing nor dance, just sing. He wants you to stay for a while. So, I guess I'll start. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, you know, when you're, especially when you become a parent yourself, and as probably the majority of you know sitting in here, you get those kids to a certain age, and our child's starting to go into that, but hopefully he's going to be a good one, into the puberty and teen years, and you go through a lot of changes, and life can be hard. And because I'm the firstborn of two firstborns, and if you ever study the hierarchy of how you should be born, I blame them for how I am. I'm very strong-willed, very determined, very perfectionistic, and I make things happen, and I'm not afraid to be in front of people, right? So, there were many times during my teenage years that, you know, the mother-daughter thing was, woo, doing this and that. They were blessed enough to have 3 kids that did not get in trouble or do things. They raised us in a strong Christian home, which I am very, very thankful for, and will be forever thankful for that witness and the example that they showed us. And they didn't have to worry about us. We were the kids that we didn't have to have a curfew, because they knew we weren't going to be doing anything that we needed a curfew for. I mean, our friends were our church friends. We were always involved in those type of activities, but we still had to push those limits to learn to be able to fly on our own. And so I just want to say how much I love you, and I thank you for always being there. I mean, I am 48 years old now, and still anything that I'm involved in, these people are there. And they do it with these two. If they're aware of what's going on, and they can be there, they're going to be there. And just having that presence means the world to your kids. And it means the world to your grandkids to have them there. And I just want to say how much I thank you for that. And I love you very much. And I just pray that David and I can be the same type of Christian parents to our son as you were for us. So. Where's the prostitution?
And I'm Tim Snyder. I'm the middle child, and the middle to us, the child's gender. So I have 4 kids, because the average family has like 2 kids, and I had 4, and John didn't have any, so I had to pick up his slack. So we got 4. Divided by 2 is 2.
Just saying.
So having 4 kids and having a family of 6 is very, you know, it's a lot of work and a lot of money and stuff. So basically, I actually have like two and a half, 3 jobs, whatever. So I'm very, very busy, and a lot of times I get home and my kids are all in bed and stuff, and I'm like, man, I hate that I didn't get to see my kids, and I hate when I don't get to spend some time with the kids. But I don't know if you know, but when we moved here, we were 7 years old from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We did some disco there from Lancaster over there, my aunt and uncle. And it's because my dad got a transfer. He used to be a manager of a shoe store, and then he got a promotion to be an auditor. And so he was traveling around. So basically, he'd leave Monday mornings and come back Friday night. And we wouldn't see him all week. And that was when you didn't have FaceTime and Facebook and Twitter and all sorts of stuff where you can keep up with your family and stuff. And I used to think about, I used to hear some people, their families, you know, their mom and dad got split up and divorced and stuff, and it just broke my heart, and I kept thinking, man, I can't imagine you know, a lot of these kids didn't get to see their parents, but a lot of times I got to see their parents every weekend or every other weekend, right? And I only got to see my dad every weekend, pretty much. He, like I said, it'd be Saturday, Sunday, and then he'd be gone. But I never felt like I was abandoned. I knew that he was working hard for the family, and that he loved every time for the whole weekend. You know, we'd go to church on Sundays, and we'd enjoy Saturdays and stuff, and I just knew he would never abandon us. And so I just always felt that love, even though, like I said, he wasn't there a lot. And it wasn't because he didn't love us, it's because he did love us. And I had a lot of stuff I was going to say, and I can't remember because I'm not the first child, and I don't want to get the But sometimes, between my mom and dad and my wife's mom and dad, they've been married more than 100 years in total, probably more than 110 years actually, probably. So I always say, it's like, you know, in my marriage with my wife, that's Crystal, that's my wife, there you go, say hi. Divorce is never an option for us, because we saw it in our parents that they're never, or you think of something else? Oh, man, you're gonna send an email. So that's it, divorce is, yeah, so, but I'm just saying that.
Counselors are available.
There you go. We got some pictures right here. So like I just said, so basically mom and dad just modeled, you know, what love and true love is and what marriage should be like. And I just thank you, mom and dad, for always being here for us and loving us and just being an example that we are, and we, all three of our families, Crystal and her name is Lori and David, and me and Crystal and John and Christy, you know, hopefully we'll always be together. Not together, that sounds good. But, you know, be together, we're together, there you go. Stay separate and together, okay. But I know we will because of our leaders, our mom and dad. Thank you. Oh, really? So that's why we have to pray for me. So you know you got the one that talks, the one that's not afraid to talk, and I'm just the one that loves to talk and party on and have a nice day. But yep, I love my mom and dad. For some reason I was thinking when I was trying to think of what I was going to say, a lot of C words. I don't know why. I mean, it's usually like you're doing a sermon. You got to have like an outline, right? So I'm thinking all these C words, and it's like the first, they kept having the C words. First one is committed. Committed to each other, committed to their church, committed to their family. You know, it's a beautiful thing for a family and to have parents that are committed. The next one is compassionate. You talk about compassion. If any of you, I bet y'all been in the hospital some. I mean, I remember seeing y'all were sick at some point. They come to the hospital. Don't say it because they're in their Sunday school class. If you're in the hospital and they know about it, they're going to come to the hospital to see you, or going to be concerned about you if you're off, you know, having problems or whatever. But compassion is another beautiful thing that my parents have. And let's see, I'm just going off the top of my head because I think that passionate. Concern. You already say concern. Concern, yeah, concern. There you go. Conservative. There you go. We know conservative. It's not of, but you know what I'm talking about. It's conservative. It's all good. But and then
Crazy's another.
crazy. Yep. And like I say, just. Here's another one I remember that I forgot, that I just remembered, was consistent. You talk about consistent. You know, if you know, consistent is them. I mean, even if you don't know what they're going to say, if you're going to ask them, you know pretty much what they're going to say because they're very consistent. If you're going to ask them money, no, you know, but it's all good because, you know, but, you know, they're awesome. I mean, and then the last one is Christ. They've had Christ in their life, and you know, that is, always we were at church, and you know, so that's just a beautiful thing that it's all good that I appreciate them being so consistent, compassionate, committed, and putting Christ in their life. And we appreciate all you being here. You don't know how much this means to us as a family, to see how many family members and close friends have come. I know we went to my grandparents' funeral, and they always had places where you could talk about them.
It's like, it would be so awesome to be able to tell your parents before they're dead how much they mean to you. So this is a beautiful thing. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying it's awesome to be able to say how much they mean to you before they die. See how I get in trouble? It's all good. I'm used to it. So I think we had a few more people. Daniel, you want to rock and roll next and dig out this?
Daniel, you just say that one more time.
Well, I kind of got rushed into that one. Well, besides my parents, Nana and Pop have probably been the people that I've most spent time with today. I know so much about them, and they're the sweetest people I've ever met. Besides my parents, of course. And I just hope that they just continue to be the best thing that the parents have ever had, grandparents. And I just hope that they will come to everything that I need them to, and they'll always be there for me, and I always know that. I just hope that they stay for so many years longer, because they're the only grandparents I have now. I'm so glad that I have them with me throughout thick and thin.
I'll put it up for me. Actually, I have the distinct privilege, I guess, to be the son-in-law, the only one. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm the son-in-law.
Thank goodness.
My wife is Lori. I always, most of you hear all the running jokes about in-laws and so forth, but that's not the case with our family. Same thing with my wife and my family and whatever, I love my in-laws just like she loved her in-laws, but we had a lot of similarities, and we figured that out real early in dating. My mom's birthday was 2 days before Shelby's, which is May 8th coming up. May 10th is coming up. My mom's was May 8th. My dad's was 1 day before Paul's. And we had a lot of other similarities too. We both had Uncle Larry's, which is Larry from somewhere. Uncle Larry's. And we had Aunt Mabel's. Now you don't have Aunt Mabel's everywhere. So we had those in common, but we had a lot more in common. My parents met them, they came and visited, and well, they kind of halfway been adopted in the Prescott family. They used to go to our Prescott reunion, and so it was, they know that our family is very similar in lots of regards in terms of our belief in Christ was one, but our love for music, that was a big, big plus. All I know is that they raised a young girl, and they nurtured her, and they taught her, and I was fortunate to be able to marry her, my wife, and I thank you so much for that, because she was meant for me. The other thing is, I think one of them talked about, I think Tim talked about it, as far as the number of years they've been married. Very similar. My mom, they made 49 before my mother passed away of cancer. And but we had talked about how the heritage of staying together through thick and thin, that type of stuff was something that we were going to continue on as well. They touched on that. But I do miss my parents, but in lots of ways these were my parents, and I think they know that. I care about them in that way. I never really officially called you Mom and Dad, but I usually call them Nan and Pop. But I think they know that I might be their son-in-law, but just as much a son as anybody. So I do appreciate being a part of this family. It's not every family has that welcoming effect, so I feel like I fit in. Although these two boys sing tenor, so I had to sing bass one time, that type of thing. But it works out. So, but we enjoy being together, enjoy having fun, and a lot of it has to do with these two right here. So, again, thank you. surely some people have some things that they can like, put a little of the bad side of them. So Paul is not perfect. Yeah. You're in for it now.
My name is Loretta. I'm Paul's baby sister. And I'm just so happy that we were able to come and celebrate with them. Like everybody's been saying, all the families and everything, our parents. Might be a no show up. But we love you very much, and congratulations. You have such a wonderful family, and just the outreach to all your friends in the church, even though we can't be together very much. We love you.
Needless to say, that was my crummy little sister.
Go to the Crumb Motel and go to Lancaster.
Her last name's
Last
Crumb, and
name is
people
Crumb.
that think
People that don't know yet.
she's like,
When we went to get our wedding rings, had to take her along.
She was 12.
Nobody believed that we were going to get married. And every night when we started dating, one night we looked at apartments, next time we looked at furniture, we just assumed right from the beginning that we were going to get married. And I was constantly telling my parents, we're doing this tonight, we're doing this. They didn't believe me. They thought I was kidding. So the night, Mom asked, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to go get our rings. Big joke. I said, okay, we'll take Loretta along with us. So we took her, she was
12.
12.
Chaperone?
We come back home, she tore in the house, Mom, Dad, you want to see what they're going to, show them. That was how we started. But this is a mistake putting a microphone in front of me. Because,
Don't preach, please.
I would like to sing.
you said you would like to. You said it.
I didn't say I was going to, I just would like to.
I can turn it.
But people will ask what kept us together for so long. Like I said, there's two things you got to remember. Always say yes, and whatever you do, don't say no.
I'm not family, as you can tell.
I've been out in the sun too long.
Yes. Now, what I've observed here, see, I haven't known Paul and Shelby too long, except from her church here, since 2009, being more around them, because we were gone all the time. But one thing I have learned about them, because when I used to see them, we sit in the organ side, and you all sit in the middle, and I always looked at you all, and I said, oh gosh, you look like staunchy, what do you call it? Starchy. Stiff. Another time, I was sitting across from the table, I can't remember what it was, maybe it was, it was Dwight. There was some kind of activity, and we were talking and that, and all of a sudden Paul said something. I'm not very good at doing punchlines and jokes. He said a joke to me, and he had it so, he said it, and I said, it made me laugh. I kept laughing and laughing. I said, this is not like what I saw before. It was so different, and I can tell now why 15 years has kept them together. Sense of humor.
Yes.
And I see it in their kids. Yeah. They probably saw it through their parents and the love and the sense of humor and being comical. And I think that's one thing, and also to Shelby, told me one time they went to Israel, they were on the bus, on the tour bus, and she says, well, if you ever go to Israel, make sure you either stay close to the bus, or you find where the party chairs are. It's a long walk to different, us women have that, So she, and I said, why would she tell me that, And she felt comfortable enough, and I felt that comfort. Then I started breaking down that you can feel close and feel comfortable to talk to people about things. And I've seen them off and on at the Y and here at church. And I can see that there's a love between them. And that's why they're 50 plus years. And then when Laurie said something about, well, maybe they'll last another 30, and I see Paul's eyes go. There's that sense of humor. And that's what we can all take in future years, I'll be married 46 and a half, but if I can keep it, I'll be blessed. And it's good to have a sense of humor and the love of the Lord. Because I see it in your kids, your grandkids, and how they talk about you. That's a very good legacy for the family.
Thank you.
If somebody doesn't want to go up, we do have a mic that we can walk around. It's on a short leash, Bill.
You just say that.
Or you can stand up and just talk. How are you feeling? Happy anniversary today. And God bless you.
He's always saying I can remember what happened this day and that day and all that. So we met Labor Day weekend, 1965. I went on the computer today to find out what that day that was. It was September 3rd, 1965. It was a Friday night. Labor Day was on the 6th that day. And we went to this place called Mount Gretna. It was a church camp, but once you got out of high school, the kids, there was really not much for the kids. That's how you lose your kids when they go off to college or they go out to work and stuff. We went to what was the Evangelical United Brethren Church at that time, merged with the Methodists in '66, right after we got married, actually. And it was a group called Older Youth and Young Adults. It was for people from 18 to 28, kids that were in college and had gone off to work. And we would have a winter retreat in February, and then we would have one Labor Day, because the kids could usually be off of college. And so that's where we went. My cousin and I had gone a couple times before, and he had a friend of his at church that was kind of disabled. He wanted to go, so he asked him to go to the retreat, to take him. So we met there. We had, first night we'd always have get acquainted games and stuff like that. And you'd say things to kind of remember your name. And they'd say, well, we call him Snyder. And that's how I remember Snyder. And that's what I even tell people now when they see our name, S-N-Y, and they say, Miss Cinder. I said, no, it's Snyder. It rhymes with cider, or spider. But we had a square dance that night. My husband says he doesn't dance. He does in Israel. And we go there, and those girls come over there, and there's 2 men, and there's 30 women, and they all come over and grab these men to go do their Israeli dances. And but my cousin and I had gone, and we had done some square dancing. Of course, we kind of wander over there to the little wallflowers over there, which is him, and found out that he really kind of liked my cousin. But he didn't know he knew my name, but he didn't have a phone number or anything. So we went home on Labor Day. Tuesday, he's trying to find my name, so he knew what town I lived in, Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and he knew my last name, and he picked the number out of the phone. It happened to be my grandmother, and she gave him my number. So when I got home from work that day, my mom said, you had a phone call from somebody, and but I knew who it was. And then he called me back later and wanted me to go out to on a date the next night. Well, I took piano lessons. I only started taking piano when I was 20 years old, and I bought a piano and told my parents, push the furniture together, the piano's being delivered, now I'm going to take piano lessons. Well, so I was at piano lessons, couldn't do that night, so we did Thursday or Friday night went. Our first date is going to his house, meeting his, where is her? Little sister. I always say his bratty little sister. She was 12. His other sister was 17. And she was soon to be 13. And that's what we did. I was interrogated by the So then we did start dating, and just like you said, we did start talking about this and that. We were actually talking about eloping. But in Pennsylvania, I was 20, well, we were both 20 at that time. You have to be 21 to get married unless you have your parents sign for you. So we went to the library, that's before internet and all that, look up what state you could get married in and be under 21 without having parents. It was either North Carolina or New Hampshire or something like that. We decided we were going south. Well, we wanted the closest. So we decided we were going to leave that Friday and go to this one place. Well, he came to pick me up, and I wasn't feeling good. And I got to thinking about, I want a wedding, I want a gown. I never had a gown. I didn't go to prom or any of that kind of stuff. I wanted a wedding to be fancy, you know. But we paid for our own wedding. We bought all of our own stuff. But anyway, we decided to change it, and we thought April, the end of April, snow should be gone by then. And so we decided on that day. Well, that day was a lot like today. Well, it was really cloudy and miserable. When we came out of the church, you get in the car and you go drive around with your cans on the back of the car, blowing the horn and all that. It's starting to drizzle. Then we came down to the basement and had the reception. And we went out to the pouring down rain. Oh, it was miserable. Well, we had only planned on going to this one little motel we had seen. It was called the Cozy Nook. We didn't have reservations or anything, but we knew we weren't going far. And we were going to visit relatives on our honeymoon because we had spent all our money on it. And plus we had this Aunt Mabel that was a close friend of ours, and she had broken her hip a couple of weeks before and couldn't come to the wedding. So we went to Aunt Mabel's and surprised them. The day after we got there, what do? We take her to the doctor. We were a car, we had a car. And then we went to visit his grandmother and spent a night there. And we did get to spend the night in the motel on the way home, and he had to be back, and he only had 3 days off because he had just started his job and only had 3 days of vacation. So, but I forgot to tell you, when we came back after the wedding, we went by the house first. We were renting this house, and some of his friends were staying there, and the parents and people were bringing the leftover food and stuff back to our house. Well, we got there, you know, the custom is groom carry the bride over the threshold. Well, when the bride's bigger than the groom, because he weighed 130 pounds and I was probably 145, and there's no way he could lift me. But he had a cousin that was there, so the two of them. This is true.
Was he there for the honeymoon too?
Well, when we got back, you know, there was all these tricks and stuff. My mother-in-law had taken his shorts, his undershorts and stuff, and they had sewed the legs together. They short-sheeted the beds, you know, and all that. So his sisters were in on some of it. So when his other sister got married, we were going to do it to them too. So we decided to put Elmer's glue in the bottom of the bathtub and spread rice all over it. Well, we thought Elmer's glue is supposed to be water soluble. Well, I guess not when it gets really hard. They blamed us for had a hard time getting that glue out. But I can't remember what our favorite things they did. had streamers up, we had gold, we had tropical fish, they had signs on there saying sink or swim, and all that. I can't remember what else about that. And like I say, we had to spend our own money for the wedding. My parents paid for the reception. It cost them $100 to have